boys and girls, and welcome to Goodnight Scotland, a goodnight podcast for boys and girls everywhere. I'm your host, Joel.
And I'm your co-host, Scotland.
And together we're here to wish you a good night. So this is our first podcast that we're recording since going on a very, very, very long road trip. We went from Chicagoland, the Chicagoland area. We drove the length of Illinois, through Missouri, through Arkansas, all the way to what state, Scotland?
Texas. And why did you do that? I was gonna say Texas.
Oh, no, you said it. You got to say it. Why did we go to Texas? Tell us that then.
I never been there before.
Okay. So we'd never been to Texas before.
Oh, I know. To meet my mom's brother.
To meet your mom's brother. Now, you've met him before, but we'd never seen him or gone to his house in Texas, had we?
Nope.
And so that was a fun road trip, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are, and we are heading into summer, and I thought a lot of families may be going on road trips with their families. So I thought maybe we could talk about road trips today, because we were in the car for a very, very long time, weren't we? The trip itself, I think on the map said it was 17 and a half hours, and that didn't include stopping for breaks and for putting in gasoline into our gas tanks. So here's some ideas. I thought, Scotland, I might ask you some questions.
Yeah.
On what did you do to keep yourself entertained on our road trip? And before you answer that, I will tell, for parents out there, we're not in any way against screen time, but I will say we try to minimize that. We try to think of some other ways to keep the kids engaged or entertained or occupied, perhaps is the best word. And so let's talk through some ideas for other people going on road trips and speak about what we did on our road trip to keep ourselves occupied, Scotland. So what did you do on our road trip that kept you engaged, entertained, and or just content to be sitting in the car?
I like to play with my stuffed animals, read books, and draw on my drawing pad, and also play games with my brothers. And I'll tell you what games I like to play. I like to play I Spy with my little eye, and also 20 questions.
Okay, now you just covered everything there in about 20 seconds. You told us all those things you like to do. So what was the first one again? You like to
play with my stuffed
play with your stuffy toys. So you brought some toys and you brought them in your backpack, right?
Yeah.
So you had that with you at your seat, and then you were able to play with those, okay?
And I bring one of them on this podcast.
Okay.
And this one is named Bucky.
Okay.
Hi.
So how did Bucky get his name? Let's talk about him.
There's a store called Bucky in Texas.
Okay. So we were told to go to a store called, or it's more a gas station called Bucky's.
Yeah, it's a store and a gas station.
And it was in Arkansas and Texas, although on our way back, we saw that one was coming for Illinois, as far as I could see. So I think they're coming to a state near you, it would seem. And so it was a big gas station, but they had, they had food. It was just a huge store. It had gift shop. It had, barbecue meat, coffee, and it had gas pumps that were, my goodness,
And they
over 200 gas pumps. It was just a huge place. And so we went in, and Scotland's gift of choice or souvenir of choice was
a Bucky toy. And
Bucky
this also, and where I got this Bucky toy, it was from Bucky's, but there was like this huge truck, and there was Bucky's inside. Bucky, could not go on the truck, so there's a bunch of Bucky's in the back, and a giant Bucky on top of all of the Bucky's.
Right. It was in the bed of the truck, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got a toy there. We'll put a picture of Bucky on Instagram so you can all see what our Scotland's Bucky soft toy looks like. And so we played with toys. Not we. Scotland did. You read some books.
Yeah.
Okay. You drew some pictures on your drawing pad.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you played this game. You said you played some games with your brothers. I Spy, which I think most people know what that game is.
But probably not everyone in the world knows 20 questions.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Can you tell us a little bit about 20 questions and explain how to play it to everybody? So
everyone can play it with their siblings.
Okay.
All right. So how you play it is you have to think of something, and then someone has to guess it. And if someone guesses it, you cannot tell anybody who it is. But you have to give them hints, so like what it does, and then you have to guess what it is.
Okay. So I think the person who is if you're starting the game, you think of, let's say it's an animal.
Yeah.
Like a beaver, okay?
Yeah.
And they can ask you only up to 20 questions. And I think the rules are, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can only say yes or no on the question. So they would say, is it an animal? You would say yes.
Yeah, you can do anything you want. You can do it as a human or a thing or an animal.
Okay, great. And that was your favorite game to play?
I Spy.
Oh, you like I Spy. Yeah. Most people, I think, know how to play that one. Okay. And so for adults who may be tuning in here, I'll let you know what I did, and Holly, my wife, Scotland's mom, what we did as adults there in the front seat, other than driving and obeying all the road rules, of course. We listened to music.
Sorry I interrupted, but all right, I forgot, so you can keep talking.
Wow, thank you for that. Okay, so we listened to music, and then I thought of another game that we didn't play, but we talked about playing. So we had this one in the wings. We didn't end up playing it, but it's a game called Would You Rather. So it's a card game, or you can pull up an app on your phone, but it's questions like, would you rather live in a desert or on a desert island or in a rainforest type of questions? And you have to decide, which one would I choose? That is a very, very fun game. Okay.
What does the island have?
Well, I'm just kind of making this up as I go along. But the island, let's say, has...
Maybe coconuts?
A desert island with beautiful white sand beaches, or in a...
Like what food and what things?
Well, I don't know if the cards go into that much detail, but you can elaborate. And that's the fun of the game, is you can elaborate.
Or I'll do desert.
You do the
island.
The desert island with the beach. Okay. So that's a fun game. But I'll tell you, for adults, one fun thing that I got to do is we stopped past a cemetery which had a famous person in it. He'd since passed, obviously. And so we stopped past the grave. We took a look, took some pictures, and then we listened to a biography of this person's life. And as the main driver on this road trip, this kept me very, very engaged, because we did drive pretty much straight through. So it was really fun to see where they were laid to rest, and then to listen to a story of their life on audiobook. And then because we'd been there and that was where they had spent part of their life, we had just driven through it. So it was kind of fun to be a part of, to see where they'd lived, to see where they had been laid to rest. So that was a really fun thing too. So perhaps engaging with the area that you're driving through.
Can I say something?
Please.
I have two things to say.
Okay.
So, at the grave, I saw a grave with like a cage with a hat in it, and then it had a cross on the top.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I'm gonna say, what I drew a rabbit with tentacles.
And that was on your drawing pad.
Yeah.
So it's not an iPad, but it's a
drawing pad.
Yeah, and you can erase it and then redraw.
Yeah, you can erase it if it's bad or if you want to draw something else.
Yeah, that's cool. So...
And you can also lock it and unlock it. Like, at the back, there's like this thing where you can do this, and then if you press it, it's locked, but if you do it again, that means it's...
So if you draw a masterpiece, you can lock it so it doesn't erase by accident, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you can do that at night, so if someone accidentally steps on it, it can't, like...
Yeah. That's a great idea. Cool. So, as people are out there listening, have either gone on a road trip or you may be planning a trip this summer. And we would like to know what you do on a road trip. So perhaps you could write to us, tell us where you're going, tell us some ideas of things you like to do on a road trip to keep yourself engaged, occupied, and there was we did.
And you can also sleep if you want.
And you can sleep, unless you're driving. You don't sleep if you're driving.
Yeah, but if you want to sleep, that would be quicker because it would be like you'll feel like a few minutes and then get to the place.
That is true.
Yeah, because that happened to me like one day, and then I slept the rest of the way home.
Yeah, that's the best way to pass time is to have a good sleep. So if you'd like to tell us about your road trip adventures, what you do, where you're going, how you're going, and different tips and tricks, we would love to hear from you. You can email us at goodnight@goodnightscotland.com. We have an Instagram page, which is at Goodnight Scotland. And if you'd like to support this podcast, there's a link in the description box below. We hope that this has been entertaining, fun, and given you a few ideas for your upcoming road trips as you go out and explore the world, the country this summer. We want to thank you for joining us. Good night, boys and girls, and good night, Scotland.